Alright guys, how are you doing? It's your boy Dave Partner. I have compiled a winning investor pitch deck, and this first part of this course would be about what you need to do before you reach out to the investor. There are 3 to 4 key things you need to do, alright? And then you can be sure that you are ready and your business is ready for you to send that investor the first message. Alright, now if you're looking for a list of investors, I already have them, over 500 of them. I'll put the link below this video where you will see them, okay? And then the second course in this series is what document you would send to the investor. Okay, now you're ready to meet the investor. There is a document, 2-3 documents you need to forward to them. I will show you step by step how to prepare this document. It's super easy. Even a layman on the street, the dumbest guy on the streets, can do that. Matter of fact, many dropouts have done that and got millions of dollars in funding. How does the whole process works? Don't worry, all your questions I'm going to answer it here. All right, then these investors, they are strategic questions they ask. All right, if any of them throws you off balance, or you don't have the right answers to any of them, it becomes a problem because they will not give you money. Nobody who made their money will want to give it to somebody that is slightly confused about their business. So those 10-15 questions, I'm going to give it to you here, and they have surprisingly simple answers. They are kinds of answers you should never give. I'll mention them. They are a proper way to structure your answers. I'll mention them. They are super simple. All right, but you just need to know about them. In case you don't know, I've done over 70 to 100 courses and over 8,000 to 10,000 videos online. So this is something I'm really good at. Alright, the first thing we're going to look at is what your pitch deck outline looks like. Your pitch deck is basically, in a layman's language, a PowerPoint presentation where you summarize your business, what it does, okay, how many staff you have, how much you've made so far, what inspired you to do the business, you know, things like your business model. How are you making money in that business, or how do you plan to be making money in that business in future? All right, and then those things, how do you plan to exit? There's something called exit strategy, and you will learn a number of terms in this video. So these are the key slides that will be there. As you can see, I highlighted on this screen, you can see 13 slides, but going forward you would see that there are different ways to do that. Depending on your business and your situation, you can structure it slightly differently. Then some investors will send you the format they want you to forward your questions to them. Like the one I forwarded to my followers a few days ago is for ladies, and the investors are giving out $2,500 grant, free money, $2,500. That's about 1.5 million naira. No, 1.2 million naira or so. That the investors are giving to women-owned business in Nigeria. Okay, small businesses. But then they want you to structure your startup in a certain way. That PowerPoint you're going to send to them, that's how to apply. You forward them a PowerPoint. They want it to be structured in a certain way, so they sent out the format already. But what I have here is like a general format that works for every investor. Even that one that they sent, that's what you're going to see in your next screen. This is what they sent. So your PowerPoint, when you're emailing an investor, this is what you attach to the email. Alright, once they scan through this, they perfectly understand your business, and they can tell you in the reply whether this is the kind of business they will invest in or not. If this is the kind of business they will invest in, they already have the answers they are looking for, and the next thing they would do is to invite you to an interview, physical presentation. That means you have got to the next stage. Now, before we go ahead, I want you to know that the aim, whenever you're reaching out to an investor, the aim of reaching out to that investor is to get them to agree to meet you again. Alright? So the aim of the first meeting is to get a second meeting. The aim of the second meeting is to get a third meeting. Usually by the time you've met 3 times, they have brought out money. By the third time or the fourth time, they have decided to fund your business. But if they stop at any stage, that means you're not getting the funding that you need. All right. So all right. So let's look at, this is a pitch deck. The first one is company and purpose. So on your first page, you write what your company name is, put their logo, describe the purpose of the company. All right. And I'll show you practical samples of the ones that other companies have used. I will attach it below this video, so you'll see practical example that other companies actually used. Now the second one is the problem. Okay, so you state the problem you're facing, or the problem your company is trying to solve. Okay, you state it. What pain does your customer face? What are the current solutions and what are the shortcomings of the current solutions? Now here's the thing. Whenever investors are reaching out to you, they are really interested in knowing what are your other companies doing. What are the other competitors, other companies in the industry trying to solve the same problem? Who are they and what are they doing? Basically, they're trying to compare the success of the other company to yours. All right. We'll get into this in more detail. Now, what of solution? Explain your eureka moment. That is the moment that you got that idea. What were you facing? Where were you? And what were you doing at the moment that that idea just struck you, that, oh, we can actually build a solution that solves this problem? All right. So they want to hear that. And why is your value proposition unique and compelling? Okay, basically the solution you are proposing, why do you think it's unique and compelling? Why do you think that you can actually influence the market with your solution? Now, one of the key questions is why now? Why hasn't your solution been built before? So if you think that your solution is amazing, why is it that out of the billions of people on earth that nobody has thought of that or built it? There must be a strong reason. Okay, it's either that there is a strong barrier to entry. Barrier to entry means that there is something preventing other people from getting in there. Okay, it could be something discouraging them. It could be something too difficult that they can't overcome. So we're going to get into that. All right. Or it could be that you're a pure genius, which rarely happens. That you're such a genius that nobody ever thought of that. It rarely happens. Okay, so when you're reaching out to investors, do not consider yourself a genius. Because once you consider yourself a genius, they have ratings. If you consider yourself a genius, they start asking questions. Okay. All right. So number 5 is market potential. Your 5th slide should show the size of the market. Identify your customer and your market. Some of the best companies invent their own markets. Now that's the thing about startup companies. If you are trying to raise funding, the company that you're trying to get, the company or business that you're trying to give you money, expect that your solution in a way might be creating a new market now or in future. Okay, or a subsection, capturing a subsection of the market. Okay, now just know that creating a new market entirely is expensive. So if your business is creating a new market entirely, some investors may not want to go in. Not that the business is bad, but that they are skeptical because it could be too costly to create a new market entirely, come up with a certain new product that is not related to any other one, and then you start trying to convince people to buy it. It's costly. Okay, so but we're going to get into that and you'll see how to navigate around that. Like I said in the beginning, there are example slides that have already answered these questions. Okay, competition alternatives. Who are your direct and indirect competitors? Show that you have a plan to win. Okay, your direct competitors are companies that are selling the same products as you. Okay, you came up with a unique jerrycan for buying fuel for Nigerian generators, or storing fuel for Nigerian generators. Fine, beautiful. Now, who are other people that are selling the same jerrycan for the same purpose? Maybe not your design, not your specific design, but they are also selling to the same customers. Those are your competitors. Indirect competitors, in a way, kind of means that these are people that are generally in the same industry but not selling the same product. Okay, let's say people that are selling jerry cans for water, they're not selling specific jerry cans for fuel or petrol, and you came up with an idea for petrol. Now the ones selling jerry cans for water are indirect because they can wake up one day, tweak their product a little, boom, and they're in your market. Okay, so number 7 slide should show a business model. Okay, how do you intend to make money? How do you intend to thrive? Show them where your customer pays, how much percentage you get, this, that. How do you deliver the product? Something like that. They want to see that. Okay. Team. They want you to tell the story of how you met your colleagues, people that you're working with. Did you just go online, put up an advert and hire them? Have you known this guy from childhood? Is this your wife or your husband that you're working? Is this your son, your relative? They want to know how you guys are connected. Okay, because when investors invest, mostly they don't even invest in the product, they invest in the team. They invest in the persons because they know that the product can always change. The team can always change the product if it's not doing well in the market. A strong team, but a weak team, no matter how powerful a product is, a weak team will always fail at marketing it. Okay, number 9, financials. If you have any financial projections, please include them. Expect you to do financial projection for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Okay, so now in this financial projection, I'll give you an example of what it is, but this is the only technical part and it's not in the first presentation. Okay, first presentation is where you just reach out to the investor, usually about 10 to 13 slides, showing what your business is about. If they are now interested, they will now request specifically for your financial projection. Now just know that if you are talking to investors, they are going to fire you this question: show us your projection for the next 1 year. Basically, how much do you think your business will be making in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years? There are ways to calculate that. Okay, you have to factor in tax and so on. There is EBITDA and a lot of things you have to factor in. But if you're not good with finances, you can easily hire somebody off Fiverr, pay them $10 to $15 and they prepare it for you. But it's basically just a single page that shows, oh, where income is coming here, this is that, this is that, this is that. I'll give you an example resource in the comments where you just edit out things and put your own numbers. Okay, so the final is your vision. If it all goes well, what will you have built in 5 years? Investors want to know, is in 5 years that they will make their money. The traditional investor wants you to sell off that business in 5 years, and when you sell it off, they want you to sell it off at a point where their investment has grown 10 to 100 times over. That means at that time everybody is rich. Both they that invested and you that they invested in, everybody is rich. If you own 40% of the company at the beginning and that 40% is worth, let's say 40 million naira, they want you at the end of the day, at the end of 5 years, that 40 million naira to have grown to 400 million naira. That's times 10, or 4 billion naira. So they want a lot of success in 5 years. So when you are reaching out to them, you want to tell them what you expect to have achieved in 5 years. All right, if they give you that money you're asking for. So I'll give you examples. All right, so thank you guys. See you in the next video where we get into what you have to do to prepare fully for this meeting. All right.